So we're doing this as a meeting format this time rather than a webinar. And the reason is because we want to be able to see you. So while we're going and doing some of these movements together. And if you have questions while we're doing this, feel free to put it in the Q&A or the chat box. You'll see down below a chat option there. And so feel free to submit questions via chat that way. And the other piece of this that we'll be doing is this will be experiential. So hopefully you have space around you where you can move a little bit, which would be great. So if you can, and Rick, let me know if you need to do it, but I'd like to be able to have your cameras on. If you feel comfortable being seen, I will be recording this, and I am going to put it on YouTube for others so other people can learn. And most of this you'll see we'll see Joseph and myself only. But if you do ask a question, it may come to you. So just make sure that if you feel comfortable with the video on. But that way Joseph can make some comments while we're doing some of the practice. So welcome everyone. This is the Tuesdays to Your Health monthly webinar, and I'm really delighted to have a special guest this month, Joseph Acquah, who I've known for over 20 years. We do these monthly, and there are different topics every month, as many of you know. And this evening we're going to do Tai Chi and Qigong practice, and it'll be an experiential practice. So hopefully you guys have the space to do it to be able to move in your own home, which is great. And let me just give you a little background. As many of you probably know, this practice has been around for thousands of years. It's really a refined art that's very much about an internal process that we go through ourselves as we practice this on a daily basis, hopefully, a little bit every day, sort of like putting pennies in your piggy bank. And after years of time, you get a large balance in your bank account. And so it goes with a Tai Chi or really any martial art practice. Tai Chi is part of the class of within Chinese martial arts, and within that it's the internal styles of martial arts versus external styles of martial arts. And what that really means is external being sort of more outwardly going, where there's a lot of movement and quick movements, and it's and the internal practices, which are made up of a practice called Xingyi, Bagua, and Tai Chi primarily, and Qigong within that, which is really a derivative of that comes out of Tai Chi. But those practices are much more internal facing, really much more about cultivating our own energy and really feeling into our own healing energy, clearing blockages, and really learning to move and open up the body and open up the energy, what we call meridians, through the body for our own personal healing and development. So it's a wonderful practice to do. I'll introduce Joseph and just say Joseph Acquah, who's both an acupuncturist, Chinese medicine practitioner, and done deep work in psychotherapy as well, psychotherapy training, and as well as been practicing martial arts for well over 30 years. He and I came together through mutual friends and family, actually, well over 20 years ago. And then I was fortunate enough to be able to persuade him to come to San Francisco and work with me at UCSF at the Osher Center for Integrated Medicine. And he helped me open that center, the clinical practice there. And we worked together for quite some time together while I was at UCSF, and he stayed there until recently where he retired from UCSF at the Osher Center there. So he has a deep Chinese medicine practice as well as a deep Tai Chi practice. And he actually just informed me he's going to be accepting new students for Tai Chi. So if you like what you experienced today, reach out to him. And I believe his email is, we'll say at the end, but I believe it's Tai Chi Doc. Well, his website's, I believe, taichidoc.com, taichidoc.com. So I look forward to sort of now standing up and doing a little bit of movement together. Let me just sort of inform you, this is the, let me just pause for a moment and let Rick know that. So I think the video has changed onto someone else. So I'd like to tell you there's a lot of medical applications. So this has been, practiced. I told you about sort of the personal experience you have when you do this sort of a practice. But at the medical level, there's been looked at for Alzheimer's, for memory loss, it's been looked at for balance, it's been looked at for blood pressure, it's been looked at for sleep, for anxiety, for glucose tolerance, looking at diabetes regulation, and the list goes on. And really, almost without fail, it showed a benefit. Even in cancer related to supporting cancer care, it's been shown to increase energy, reduce pain, reduce depression. So it's really, no surprise, a deep holistic practice that has multiple ramifications to improve our quality of life. So without further ado, why don't we get moving a little bit? I'm going to start and just kind of do a practice just to open up the body, and then I'm going to hand it over to Joseph, who's going to teach us some Tai Chi flow movements as well. So let me just turn the camera here for a moment. All right, so what I'd like us to do now is I'd like us to start down at our feet, and we're going to go ahead and rotate our ankles, so in one direction. So if everyone would just go ahead and rotate your ankles one direction, and then go the other direction. And we're just trying to open up the joints here a little bit, bring some blood to them. Let's try the other side now. And the intention here is really the joints, as you know, as we age, they're stubborn bears, those joints. Now we'll go the other direction. And it's hard to get good blood supply in there, good nutrients in there, and there's a lot of stasis, decreased flow through the joints. Okay, great. So we open those up a little bit. Now we'll move to our knees. So let's go one direction with our knees. And try and have your feet relatively together so that you're nice and stable. And you go one direction. And the joints, by doing this and opening these joints and sort of giving a nice stretch to them and support it at the same time, the other direction, you really allow the blood flow to go in, and you allow it's almost like a sponge. You squeeze it tight and then you let it go and it expands again. Imagine doing it under a shower or a faucet. And so you're cleansing out the old and bringing in the new. Let's go the other direction one more time. So you bring out all those toxins, get squeezed out, and in comes fresh new nutrients through the blood. And one more time the other direction. That's the intention here. As well, of course, the mechanical aspects of opening up and stretching the ligaments and tendons as well. So let's move up now to the hips. So imagine you have a hula hoop in slow motion. We're just going to do nice big turns in one direction for a while here. I like to put my hands on my side. You can also put them behind your sort of SI joints, sort of the bottom of your spine there, where it meets your pelvis. And let's go the other direction. And then back the other direction. And then the other direction. Now we're going to do a modified version, which is you sort of bring your feet underneath your shoulders, or even bring them a little closer. And then you put your hands on the sides here, with your SI joint here, so the bottom of the spine where it meets the pelvis. And then you just do subtle movements, subtle rotations. So you realize it's almost like drawing a circle where you're subtly just rocking it from one side to the other. You're going to this side, and then back, and then in the back corner, and then to the front. So it's almost like a square, but you're really trying to draw a circle in the square. And then go the other direction. This really will open up the SI joint area and get a lot of movement in the sacrum as well as the low spine, the lumbar spine. And it takes a lot of coordination. Okay, great. So now we're going to move our way up to the shoulders now. So what I'd like us to do is take nice big turns. And when we open up, try and bring the bicep, if you can, just try and attempt to slightly brush by your ear. And then you got to open your hip as you go back, and then you come forward again. And then back and forward. So let that just open up and relax the shoulder. Don't make sure it's not up and tight. You want to just relax it and really try and expand the range of motion that you can. And the best way to do is allow that upper body to turn as you go back. Great, let's do the other side now. Open. You may find one side is easier than the other for all these movements. And that's part of the beauty of the martial arts in general, is you really work both sides so that you become ambidextrous. God forbid someone has a stroke, you're much more able to recover because you're used to using and being coordinated with the other side. Most of us brush our hair, brush our teeth, use soap, eat everything with one particular hand. Okay, now let's try the other, we're gonna go the other direction now. So we take back to the original arm, we're gonna now go forward. So it goes back and then forward. And what this does, these movements, is it teaches you to use both parts of your body, the left side and the right side, whether it's your arms, your legs, really makes that brain work and really creates new neural connections. So you have a lot more dexterity, a lot more balance. Let's do the other shoulder now. Now for kicks and giggles, some of you have done this with me before, we're gonna send these arms in different directions. And we're gonna do this in some of the other exercises that Joseph's gonna teach you, where things will be going different directions. So we're gonna do that here. So bring both your arms straight up, as comfortable as you can, and then bring one arm down in front of you and the other arm behind you. And then bring both arms together. And then the other arm up, the other one behind you, and then back up again. So they're both going different directions. So I'll give you a side view of that. You can see how they're both going different directions. The easiest way to do this is really slow and maybe a quarter turn at a time. And you really have to move the upper body, otherwise it gets really awkward. The thing about doing a quarter turn at a time is you'll feel it in your shoulders. So as you start to get the hang of it, you can actually just let them rotate. And you really can get a nice stretch this way. Great. All right. Typically, when I do this in front of everyone here, we laugh. Hopefully you're all laughing, because this is quite difficult and complicated to do. And at the first go of it, many people have a really hard time. So don't be hard on yourself. I'm sure for many of you that was your experience, which is fine. That's great. It gets the mind going. And I guarantee you haven't thought about anything else yet other than what we're doing right now, which is a relief for your mind in and of itself. So let's move to the neck now. So we're just going to rotate, do some nice big rotations. Be careful if you have a complicated neck. You don't want to overdo it and cause a problem. But you just want to allow it to open up. Do some nice rotations. And then go the other direction. Great, and then let's look straight down. Allow your chin to go down towards your chest. Then look upward. When you look upward, make sure you don't shorten the neck. You actually want to elongate the neck. So as you're looking upward, as as you're being pulled, your neck is elongating as you look up. And then you come back down. Most people, when they look up, they shorten their neck, and that causes a lot of strain on the back of the neck and can cause problems. So as you look up, extend, let the shoulders come down, chest opens, and then come back to neutral. And then look down again, chin towards your chest, coming back to neutral, and then open and lengthen the neck as you look up, and let your eyes cast upward, and then come back to center. Great. Now we're going to turn our necks to the left and right. So allow your body to open up first. So from the hips, turn, then the torso, then the chest, and then the neck, and then the head, and finally look with the eyes, the last piece. So we'll turn and look, and then we come back to center. I'll do a side view of that. Let's go the other direction now. So turning torso, chest, shoulder, neck, head, and then with the eyes, you're looking behind and then coming back to center. And then let's go the other direction. And back to center. And one more time on the right or your left, depending on what side you're on. Back to center. Again. Back to center. Turn the other direction. And back to center. Wonderful. Now let's rub our hands together. Try and generate some heat. Good. Bring all that energy to your hands. And then we go ahead and rub our ears. Now, our ears are filled with lots of different acupuncture points. So go ahead and stretch the earlobes. Inside, you pull on the tops of the ears, sides of the ears, pull down the bottom of the ears, go up the ear canals. Great. And then you go ahead and rub the temples. Lots of acupuncture points all through the scalp as well. You can go ahead and massage the scalp. Feels really good. You'll notice some tender spots in the scalp. They'll change every day, actually, different locations. It's really interesting to explore the different tender spots. Today I happened to work out. I was telling Joseph twice today. This is my third little exercise. I went for a walk. I did some paddleboarding. I've been outside. I'm on vacation here in Portland, Maine. And so I'm just telling you right now, I'm surprised. I'm saying to myself, wow, I don't have a single tender point in my skull, which is very unusual. It just tells me that I'm relaxed. It's really interesting. And then finally, we'll rub our hands together, and then we're going to cover our eyes. So we'll cover our eyes and take a big breath in. The palms of right in here, that palm area is going to cover your eye. And you're going to take all that energy and bring it into your eyes. So cover your eyes and take a big breath in. And exhale. And rub your hands one more time. Cover your hands, bring it in. Begin, inhale, and then exhale. And then one last time. Cover your eyes, breathe in. And exhale. Wonderful. And the last piece that I learned from Joseph, actually, is a part here with our hands, which again has a lot of acupuncture points running through our hands. So we'll start with just clapping. And then we'll split and allow one hand to be on top and the other on the bottom and between our fingers here. So like this. And then switch to the other side. So the other hand is on top, the other finger. And then we'll come here with one thumb on top between the webs of our thumb here together, between our thumb and first finger, and then the other side. Great. Then the palms here, and do gently because this can hurt you. So do softly together. And then the backs of our hands. And then flip and do the other side. And then finally, we'll do the sides of our fingers. We'll pull along the sides, the left and right side of each finger, across each finger. And then the other hand along the sides of each finger. And then top and bottom for each finger. And shake it out. You can do let your whole body shake out and loosen up a little bit. Wonderful. So that was a nice opening exercise to really get the joints open, get the energy flowing through our body, our neck, our scalp, our ears, our eyes. As Joseph may tell you, the eyes are sort of the doorway, they say the doorway to the soul, but this, from a Chinese medicine perspective, starts in the liver and comes out through the eyes. And again, we did our ears, and again, from a Chinese medicine perspective, the kidneys come out, and the meridians end in the ears as well. So really, you're doing much of sort of an internal massage to the body energetically, and hopefully you'll notice a difference now. So at this point, I'm going to transition over to Joseph and let him sort of do the second half of this experience.
Well, greetings. I hope you can all hear me. Here I am in San Francisco on a typical summer day in San Francisco, where it's probably about 58 degrees right now. Summer in San Francisco. So what I want to do is something called Tai Chi Gong, and these are movements that come from the classical Yang style of Tai Chi. My teacher is the third generation Tai Chi master of the Yang form. His name was Kai Ying Dung, T-U-N-G, and he's the son of Dung Hu Ling, and they oftentimes put the last name first. So Kai Ying Dung is usually Dung Kai Ying, and then the father was Dung Wei Li, or Dung Wei Ling, and then the grandfather was Dung Yin Che, who studied with the original family of the Yang people, of the Yang clan that brought the Yang form into the 20th century. So I've been studying with him. He's a classic teacher in Los Angeles, sort of in retirement, semi-retirement now. His son, Dung Chinwei, is now the sort of master of the academy in Los Angeles. But Master Dung has students all over the world. I've traveled with him all over the world. And we sometimes say, join Tai Chi and see the world with us. I've been to Italy, to Denmark, to China, to France with him, as he has students in all those places. But there is a classical 108 movements in the Tai Chi form, the Yang Tai Chi form. And what I want to show you is what was called Tiger Mountain Tai Chi Gong, and it's 9 movements from that form. And so if we can just begin it with the first movement. Now you're steady on your feet, again, feet about shoulder width apart. And we'll do the first movement. We'll just start with one hand. So I'm just going to have you bring the palm up facing you, relax everything, and then we rotate it out and down. And again, you don't have to guess on this. You get to actually, again, using the eyes, as Brad said, is very important. So we're going to watch it so we can actually tell it's going out and down. And it's not going behind your body. It's staying right in front, coming up in the center, rotating out and rotating down and up and out and down. One more time, up and out and down. Good. Change hands, up, just about face high, rotating it out and down. Again, we're not going behind the body, we're staying in front of the body. And up and out and down. And up, rotate out as it's rotating, rotates down, up and out and down. One more time, and up and out. And this time when the hand goes down, bring the other one up. Rotating out and down, and now as the left hand goes down, whichever one for you, and the right hand's coming up, and you're wanting to coordinate them. So one is starting down as the other is starting up. And one is going down as the other is coming up. And one is going down as the other comes up. And one is going down as the other comes up. And one is going down as the other is coming up. we're going to bring this hand up in front and this one further away, and the palms separate and they turn down. So this is a classic movement out of the form of Tai Chi. Almost all Tai Chi forms, of which there are 5 major, but the Yang Tai Chi form and all the Tai Chi forms have this movement. It's referred to as wave hands like clouds or cloud hands. And then there's a follow, so that's the first movement in this Tai Chi Gong form, okay? Again, you're doing it very relaxed so that the energy can flow after we've opened up all the joints, as Brad has shown us. Everything's much more relaxed now, and we're just being very relaxed so that the energy can flow, right? Sometimes when we talk about this energy thing, people say, oh, well, this is just this sort of intellectual exercise. So let me do this with you before we go on. If you just raise your hands and make the palms face one another, right, and bring them up probably a couple of inches apart, and then you're going to separate them. Just let them go. Again, just very relaxed. And then we're going to bring them back together again. Again, just about a few inches apart, and then bring them out. And back together. And out. And back together. And I think probably by now you're all feeling something between the palms, although you can't see it, right? There's some degree of attraction at some point, and maybe even at a point where it feels like they're pushing away. And then here they come together, and you're probably feeling, depends upon your energy level and what's open for you, you'll probably be getting to feel them sort of be attracted or something in between them, right? So that's what we would say is the body's chi that moves through the body consistently. If we allow it, if we don't have the joints in the places that it becomes occluded, or as Brad mentioned, stasis. And blood stasis and chi stasis are clinical diagnoses in Chinese medicine. Another thing I'd add to what Brad said in terms of its value, the only book that has ever been published on an exercise form by Harvard University is the Harvard University Guide to Tai Chi Chuan. So if you're all looking for some academic research on the value of Tai Chi, I refer you to that by Peter Wayne, Dr. Peter Wayne, Tai Chi, Harvard Guide to Tai Chi Chuan, to Tai Chi, I think he stops it there. And Tai Chi is usually, when it came to America, became Tai Chi, but classically it's Tai Chi Chuan, right? Supreme ultimate fist, because it was a martial art in most instances where you study it for a long period of time. With in a lineage, you will learn the martial applications of it. It looks so relaxing, and it is, but it also has martial, each one of these movements have martial applications. So I'll start again, wave hands like clouds. So we'll just start here. 1, 2. We say the palms are always attempting to face one another. 3. And 4. Okay, good. So now we're going to bring this hand up as the other hand goes down. We're going to rotate here. We're going to lower this hand as we raise the other. We're going to push toward the corner, the opposite corner, here. And then we're going to lower that other hand as we raise this one and turning the waist. Much of what Brad talked about was turning the waist. Feet are staying stationary, and we're going to rotate again, lowering the one hand as we raise the other and push to the corner. Okay. And relax. And that movement is in the form called Fair Lady at the Shuttle. Shuttle meaning the weaver, right? So the weaver, right, weaves from one side to the other. Weaving, 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 yes. So we'll put those two together, and we'll add the third one just in the interest of time. And so the third movement in this form, and there are 9 movements in this Tiger Mountain Tai Chi form, right? Tai Chi Gong form. And so the next movement is really relatively simple. We're gonna take both hands and put them in front of ourselves on our midline, right? And we're gonna bring the hand above, down, and they're gonna cross just about midway the body here. Chest level, somewhere between navel and chest. And then we're just gonna raise them, or push one up, push one down, push the palm all the way toward the ceiling, toward the sky, and then the opposite hand is going to be pushing toward the earth, like so. Step back so you can try to see this totally. Here. And then the hand coming down is the one that's always going to be closest to you. And again, they're going to cross just about mid-body. Hand coming down closest to you, and then we extend. Palm up, pushing toward heaven and pushing toward earth. And once again, crossing about midline, trying to be relaxed as possible. Right here, they change, yin and yang. The whole form is about yin and yang. Okay. And we'll finish here, bringing one hand down, the other one up. This is sort of always the closing or movement to sort of gather the chi here and bring it down. So those are the first 3 movements of this form of Tai Chi Gong. And I want to just check time here. Good. And now we'll do the 3 movements together in a sequence. We do 4 of each one of the movements. So we'll begin here. First, we bring the palms up, facing one another. And the relaxed palms just facing each other come to shoulder level. And we turn the palms over and let them come down. And then we're going to shift the weight into the left leg, pick up the right, and just step slightly out to your lateral position. This hand in front, like we did before. Wave hands like clouds. So as this one comes up, this one is going down. 1, 2. 3. 4. So we say, from the clouds she wove, because this is weaving, Fair Lady at the Shuttle, she wove. Once again, rotating, letting the front hand come up as the opposite hand comes down, and we're going to push to the corner. And again, rotating the body, raising this hand as this one goes down, 2. And once again, rotating, 1 goes up, 1 goes down, 3, and 1 more. Rotating, turning the waist, this passes right by the navel and pushes to the corner. From the clouds, she wove heaven and earth. We bring both palms to the center, and once again, we're going to push heaven. And push earth. 1 and 2. 3. 4. And once again, to finish the sequence here, rotate. Very good. So those are the first 3 movements, and you can remember them by the poem, From the Clouds, Cloud Hands, She Wove, Fair Lady at the Shuttle, Heaven and Earth. Now the question frequently comes up, so is there breathing involved? Should I be breathing this way or that way? And many schools do. Master Dung says that we will breathe according to what our needs are if we listen to our bodies as we're going through the form. The most important thing is don't hold your breath. So if you find a place that you're really needing to extend and open the breath and really exhale, do that. And if there's other places where you feel like in order to complete the movement that you need to have a deep inhalation, you do that. Your body will tell you. You will be informed by your body. We oftentimes talk about this in terms of food. If you just pay attention, you know when you're hungry and when you're not, when you're just eating because it's time to eat, right? So it's the same thing. You pay attention to your breath because the body is saying it's time to breathe, okay? But don't stop breathing, most importantly. So the next 3 movements, and I mentioned there's 9 of these. From the Clouds, She Wove, Heaven and Earth, the tiger. So we call this strike tiger. And what it is that you're going to take both of your fists and make them here on your sides at about waist level. And you're going to turn the waist. You're going to bring this one up. You're facing the corner. And this one comes in toward your waist. And so they're about above and below one another as you face the corner. And then we lower this one and bring this one out. And as we rotate the waist, they're rotating, and this one starts up. And this one comes in. And now you're facing that corner with this fist above and this fist below. And then once again, you get to rotate your waist as this one comes down and this one comes out. And then they exchange positions. 3. And we lower this, turn the waist. So the whole spine is rotating. And your eyes are on the lead hand, we say. The tiger brings the horse. So we turn the palms to face one another and we contract toward the middle. Palms just about navel level, and we expand on the diagonal. This palm down, this palm up on the diagonal. And then we contract, palms come to face one another, toward the navel, feeling that chi between the palms, and then expand on the diagonal. And once again, contract. And expand. And then this next movement is also in all forms of Tai Chi. And we're gonna, what they call brush knee, we call brush knee. So turn this palm over as this palm turns up, turning the waist. This hand's gonna come right past the ear as you rotate back. And we say the front palm is brushing the knee and then you push straight forward from your midline. And once again, we're going to rotate here. This is going down while this is coming up. If you're seeing the pattern here, one down, one up, right between your shoulder and your ear, and we're pushing straight forward after we've brushed the knee here. Once again. And brush the knee, and push. And finish. Once again. Good. So let's do those three movements again. And what were they again? The tiger brings the horse to its knees. And horse, separating horse's mane. You can kind of see this as stroking the horse's mane, right? Separating horse's mane. Striped tiger, I don't have a good idea about how you would strike a tiger, but anyway, that's what it's called. And brush knee is obviously exactly that. It's brushing the knee figuratively, right? Figuratively brushing the knee. Okay, let's do them together. So we'll just start here. We'll make fist about waist level, and we'll rotate, bringing one up. The other one we can call down, but it's actually just rotating with your waist to the corner. One, lowering the left, bringing the right out. As you begin to rotate, slowly, left comes up, right goes down. 2, 3, 4. Tiger brings the horse. Called the separating horse's mane. Again, palms coming toward one another, contracting, and then expanding on the diagonal. Front hand is up, the back hand is down. Palm, that is. And then we turn the palms to face one another, contracting toward the midline, toward the navel, and then expanding on the diagonal. And contracting. Tiger brings the horse, separating horse's mane to its knees. Horse to its knees. So we rotate the waist, turning left palm down, right palm up, bringing it between ear and shoulder, and we brush the front knee and push. 1, and another, this side. One going down, the other coming up. 2. And once again, other side. 3. And once again. 4. And once again, we finish by gathering the energy, the chi as we say, and then bringing them down. Okay, that's the second group of 3 movements. Again, all of these movements come from the form of the Tai Chi Yang style. And lastly, we'll do the last 3 movements. these are sometimes considered sort of simple, but not easy. So we will have the palms here in front of us, both palms up. And we rotate the wrist, and we slowly, as they come back, just along your sides, we don't bring them so far down, just about waist level, and we begin to rotate. Don't go too far behind your back. And as they rotate, you're making fist and coming up. Relax shoulders, don't come up this way, just come up here. Nice and relaxed. 1. Rotating, let the whole arm, wrist, elbow. 2. Rotate. Right? Opening. 3. 4. And then we change. We open the palms and go out. Nice, like a bird here, right? And we're going to alternate hands. First, we're going to put the left hand outside. So the right hand's going to come up first, and the left hand second. Again, just at chest, waist level, or a shoulder level, rotating out and down. This time, the right hand further away. 3. Again, relax shoulders, relax arms, nice and round, not tight, not straight, but sort of round. 3. Left hand outside this time, and then 4. Right hand outside, meaning further away from you. And then we open. Let them just hang, and then we bring them up. Again, just about head high, if you will. Top of your head, let them come down next to your body. We're going to push from the chest here. 1. 2. Chest level. 3. 1 more. 4. And once again, we'll close here. Very good. Now, I didn't give you the poetry part of the last 3, which is before twin mountain peaks, they crossed and pushed until the end. Yeah, so let's do the whole series together. Right? You could do them in sets of 3, as I've done today. Very helpful, but if we do all 9 together, you'll even get a lot more from them. You can do them faster or slower. Obviously, the slower, sort of the more concentrated that you're doing them under, and that's much better for the mind-body coordination and the settling of the mind as well. The other thing I didn't mention is that the hand, you want to put the attention on the hand that's the lead hand, the one that's in front, right? So that you can also be exercising the eyes simultaneously. Yeah? Okay. We'll do the whole sequence together. It's probably what we have time for. So here we go. So We're going to bring the palms up, facing one another, and extending. Sort of just open up. I said it's like greeting an old friend you haven't seen for a long time. They come to shoulder height, they turn over, the palms turn down, and the elbows descend, bringing the palm the rest of the way over and down. Now, once again, you can do this in a very deep position, i.e. sitting very low, or you can do it as we've been doing here, just sort of standing. But on this first movement, we're going to shift the weight into the left leg and step out to the right side with the right foot flat. And we're just going to start here. 1, 2, 3, 4. From the clouds, she wove. 1, 2, 3, 4. From the clouds, she wove heaven and earth. And coming down, again, it's always closest to you. 1, push heaven, push earth. 2, 3, 4. The tiger, 1, 2, 3, 4. Brings the horse, separating horse's mane. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tiger brings the horse to its knees. 1, brushing the knee. Brush knee and push. 2, 3, 4. Before twin mountain peaks, 1, 2, 3, 4. For twin mountain peaks, they crossed. 1. Again, alternating, left hand further away. Crossing. Not too far, not too high, not too far. 2. 3. 4. Crossed. And pushed until the end. 1. 2. 3. 4. And we close again. Shifting weight back into your left leg, picking up the right as the hand comes up with it. Placing it down, hands are crossed, separating and going down. And relax the wrist, and there you have it. This is the Tiger Mountain Tai Chi Gong, developed by Dung Kai Ying, 3rd generation Tai Chi master.
Thank you, Joseph. That was terrific.
Great.
I'm glad we're able to get through it all.
Yeah, 7:33 here. You got 10:33 there, probably.
I do.
Yeah, well, great.
So there were a couple, I saw someone had raised their hand.
Yeah.
And let me just see.
Yes. Do you have a recorded session that you can email to us?
Yeah, so thanks for bringing that up. So we're recording this now, and we're going to post this on YouTube. So feel free to go to my YouTube channel, which is Dr. Brad Jacobs, DR for Dr. Brad Jacobs, and everyone will be able to review this, because this was a lot that Joseph so kindly shared with us, generously and openly in one session. Thank you, Joseph. And so I just want to let everyone know that Joseph will be teaching a class, and so if you want to go to his website, taichidoc.com, is that right, Joseph? taichidoc.com. You can find, I don't know if it's listed there yet or not.
Not yet, because we're moving it outdoors, of course, because we've got to be outside because of COVID. We've been in the studio for the last, 5 years. And so now we're going to be out in the park. We haven't selected exactly the location, but probably in Golden Gate Park near the concourse, right? The music concourse. So I'll let you all know it will be on my website.
Wonderful. And in the interim, you can practice looking at the YouTube video that we'll post for you.
Absolutely.
So thank you, everyone, for your time. If there are any other questions, I appreciate the comments. And I think there aren't any questions or just beautiful comments saying it's beautiful and calming. And thank you for teaching the story to help us recall the movements too. So thank you, everyone. We do this once a month. So look for our newsletter. If you want to sign up, you can go to our website. If you found it through some other means, feel free to come to my website, Blue Wave Medicine. And thank you again for your time, Joseph. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For being
Pleasure.
here. Okay.
Get some sleep. After such a day, you must need some sleep.
Yeah, yes, I'm ready for sleep.
Okay. See you, my friend.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Until next time.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.